Welcome back, AP Gov students. Today is Wisconsin v. Yoder, another AP Gov required case. I'm going to be going over all the key points from this case you're going to need to know for your exam. This case was heard in 1972, and this is under the civil liberties theme for all the cases. So a Wisconsin law required all children to attend school until age 16, and 3 Amish families, including the Yoders, represented by Jonas Yoder, refused to send their children to high school, citing religious and cultural objections. They said that forcing their kids to attend school past 8th grade was violating their cultural obligations, but the state prosecuted the families anyway for violating compulsory education law. So this has to do with the Free Exercise Clause of the First Amendment, which allows people to freely exercise their religion. And the question here is, can the government force education if it conflicts with sincerely held religious beliefs? So the concept here is balancing individual religious liberty versus state interest. So the state will have to define what the scope of a compelling state interest is. The court ruled unanimously in favor of Yoder. It said that the Free Exercise Clause outweighed the state's interest in compelling school attendance past the 8th grade. It said that there is a lack of evidence that 2 extra years of school were necessary for civic participation and being a civilized human. It said that secondary education conflicted with the central religious values in Amish life. So this state law, which isn't totally necessary, would require people to live and be in sharp conflict with their fundamental mode of life mandated by their culture and religion. This was significant because it strengthened protection of religious liberty under the Free Exercise Clause. It said that religious beliefs can sometimes override general laws if the law is overly burdensome or conflicting. However, there's always further cases that refine this concept of balancing state laws and law and order versus religious freedom, as technically, in theory, anything can be regarded as religious activity. So, for example, sadistic cannibalism rituals are not justified under the Free Exercise Clause. But anyways, this case is constantly cited in further cases surrounding religious exemptions. This case definitely circulates in the news cycle when there's debates about religious exemptions for things like, an example, vaccines. So it's definitely one that is still culturally and lawfully relevant. And that's a wrap. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next case, and goodbye. Yo, if you're super cool and awesome, you should follow my Twitter or X if you're that kind of person. It's @Clark4724. I post a lot of random stuff on there, but I also post channel updates and when my next videos are coming out. So if you're gonna keep watching my channel, then I recommend you follow, and thanks.